When we make Viad an anti-plaque toothpaste and rinse, we use an exclusive patented formula.
Which includes the sanguinaria root, dental plaque's natural enemy.
In lab tests, sanguinaria has been proven a powerful plaque fighter, effective against 98% of the bacteria that lead to plaque buildup.
98%. Those are pretty dramatic results. Anti-plaque toothpaste, anti-plaque rinse. Viadent with sanguinaria.
If you're going to fight plaque, fight to win.
Channel 10, Philadelphia. Larry Kane, Diane Allen, Herb Clark, and Al Meltzer. Now, Channel 10 News.
Good evening, everyone. It happened just seconds before launch. An engine pump problem today forced NASA to postpone the mission of the Space Shuttle Atlantis until Monday at the earliest.
We will hold the clock at T-minus 31 seconds. We have had a report we will hold the clock at T-minus 31 seconds.
Nearing the end of an unusually smooth countdown, a ground computer brought the Atlantis launch to a halt after it isolated a problem in the shuttle's engine cooling system. Now here's what happened. An electrical surge in the pump that circulates cold hydrogen through one of the shuttle's engines blew a circuit breaker, stopping the critical flow of hydrogen.
If the problem with the recirculation pump is the pump itself, which is in the aft fuselage mounted near the engine, so that job in itself would take us well into next week.
The 5 Atlantis astronauts left the spacecraft smiling but clearly disappointed at the delay. Scientists were also frustrated. The shuttle was to launch the special space probe called Magellan, which will travel 808 million miles to the planet Venus. Magellan will photograph the planet's surface to help scientists better understand why Venus is so different from Earth, even though the two planets were almost identical when the solar system was formed. At Magellan's control center in California, engineers were disappointed but philosophical about the delay.
Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry, especially in light of the Challenger accident. You know, want to make sure they do everything right.
Now, Monday afternoon is the very earliest the Atlantis could blast off. NASA is expected to make a final decision on when to launch sometime over the weekend.
And our other top story tonight, more people have come forward to claim prizes in the $115 million Pennsylvania Super 7 jackpot. But before we get to the big winners, we also have new information tonight from Harrisburg about how much you've won if you correctly picked 5 or 6 numbers from Wednesday night's record-setting drawing. The Lottery Commission says that 816 tickets had 6 out of the 11 numbers drawn, and each of those tickets is worth $4,842.50. 28,776 tickets had 5 of the numbers, and that's good for a prize of $274.50. And if you had 4 numbers correct, well, you have a lot of company. Nearly 500,000 people, each getting $7.
Including a few people in our studio, right?
Right. And now on to the big winners. They're the ones who hold the tickets with 7 of the 11 numbers picked.
As you probably know by now, there are 14 tickets in all. And today, outside Harrisburg, the parade of unofficial winners continued at lottery headquarters. Our team coverage begins with Bonnie Keller tonight.
Should we tell them what we did?
That's how these lottery winners reacted when they found out they hit the Super 7, sharing a $115 million jackpot along with 13 other big-ticket holders. Chuck Davis and John White work at General Electric in Erie. Their fantasy come true is to buy some of the things they've always wanted.
A boat. Big boat. A boat, a house, and a new car.
Arthur Rosen and his family from East Windsor, New Jersey, don't have any immediate plans until the check for their portion of the big jackpot is in hand.
Well, first I was told about a smaller ticket, which we hit with 5 numbers. I said, it's great. Maybe it's $1,000. What's for dinner? And then they hit me with this thing with 7 numbers. I said, no, you got to be out of your mind.
Today's stream of winners at lottery headquarters also included maintenance workers from West Virginia University who don't plan to quit their jobs, and a 35-year-old sales representative from outside Pittsburgh, whose father bought 5 tickets for each of his 4 children, and one of hers paid off.
I was just laying on the couch. Actually, I'd fallen asleep. And my sister called and said, "You check your numbers yet?" And I said, "No." And then I looked, and I was like shocked.
Yesterday, the first winners to come forward were 14 brick workers from Northeast Ohio and a family from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, who used a palm reader to help pick their lucky numbers. Despite the fact the jackpot is divided among 14 ticket holders, none of the winners seem to care. Outside Harrisburg, I'm Bonnie Keller, Channel 10 News Update.
As life returns to normal in this village of 3,700 people in rural Ohio, The 14 brickmakers who share one winning ticket for Pennsylvania's $115 million lottery feel like they're on an emotional roller coaster. When Joe Clark first realized he had won, he felt so rich he gave away his car.
At the time, I thought I was a millionaire, so I just didn't care about things. Didn't work out quite that way, but I'm still satisfied with what I got.
When the Ohio 14 left to collect their share of America's largest lottery ever, most of them planned to quit their jobs at this brickmaking factory here in Windham. Now, back home, knowing they'll each collect about $23,000 a year and won't become millionaires, they're all planning to go back to work on Monday. In fact, one lottery winner dropped by the plant today.
But now it's back to work, huh?
Monday.
Or you're just stepping in to say hello?
To get my paycheck.
One winner who lives in this low-income neighborhood hopes the prize-winning ticket will help him move into a nicer home. The money will just about double Ronnie Shea's annual income.
It'd be nice to just pay the bills and go from there. I'd like to move out of town, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Less than a week after getting a foreclosure notice on his home, Joe Clark can now pay off his mortgage and says it's just as well the lottery didn't make him rich.
Because it just makes people's life miserable having that much money. I know it would.
And even though he's not a millionaire, Joe says his wife is still going to quit her job, and they're taking a trip to Hawaii. Dennis Woltering, Channel 10 News, Windham, Ohio.
By the time the lottery offices closed down in Harrisburg this evening, 8 winning tickets had been processed, and officials say it could be the middle of next week before they're verified. Remember, there are still 6 other winning tickets out there somewhere.
Well, they were looking for a winner of another kind tonight in the annual Miss Matty Young contest. It was held at the Holy Family School Hall on Hermitage Street. And the winner is...
Miss Matty Young, 1989, Tammy Farringer.
Tammy's excited. Tammy Farringer takes home a trophy and about $700 in cash and bonds. Plus, she gets to be queen of the Manioc Canal Day Parade next month. Following the competition tonight, a little bit of entertainment. This performer couldn't decide whether she was Sunny or Cher. Good act. I like that.
All right, coming up tonight, around and around he goes. A pilot down under tries to loop his way into the record books.
Also ahead, we will go on patrol with Philadelphia police officers in a district where turf war is getting more violent every day. Who's in control of the streets of Philadelphia? The story still ahead.
What could be more exciting than 2 days of high-performance racing school? What are you doing after school? Under Toro's Total Coverage Guarantee, every single part of this rider is guaranteed for 2 years or we'll pick it up and fix it free. So, if it doesn't start, that's our problem. If it quits running, that's our problem. In fact, if even the littlest thing goes wrong, that's our problem. That, on the other hand, is your problem. For details about the Total Coverage Guarantee, see these Toro dealers.
When you see news happen, shoot it with your home video camera. Then call 1-800-TIP-WCAU. Become a part of 10 people.
I think this trip is getting to Mom and Dad. They're acting weird.
TWA means Los Angeles.
They haven't yelled at me in days, and I haven't been that good.
TWA means San Francisco.
The other day, I caught them holding hands.
TWA means Hawaii.
You know, they're really pretty nice once you get to know them.
Today's TWA.
4.9, 2.9. Forget GM, Ford, and the imports. Get 0% financing now at your Jeep Eagle dealer. Get 0% interest on New Eagle Premier. 0% on New Eagle Summit. 0% on select Jeep Cherokees. Plus 0% on Jeep Comanches. Get 0% financing at your Jeep Eagle dealer now. Anything else could cost you.
See your Key States Jeep Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
The dry weather has sparked an outbreak of wildfires in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Jet Chopper 10 caught pictures of this wildfire as it spread through 25 acres in Pennsville, New Jersey. The brush fire was first spotted near the Delaware Memorial Bridge earlier today. No houses or businesses were threatened, but it did take firefighters a few hours to get it under control. This latest surge in wildfires is the reason behind a new ban on open fires in all Pennsylvania state parks.
We have a story tonight that's happening more and more often on the streets of Philadelphia and surrounding communities. It's a story of a neighborhood definitely saying no to drugs. 300 people shouting anti-drug slogans marching around Wharton Square Park in South Philadelphia tonight. Neighbors organized to fight the drug dealers they say are taking over their community. Community leaders say they will stay all night if necessary to drive the drug dealers out.
Drug problem growing in many of the city's drug-ravaged neighborhoods. There are turf wars breaking out among the drug dealers. They're fighting to keep their hold on the drug trade and the profits. Tonight we get a rare look at this battleground. Pat Battle rides with police officers in the 19th district where the turf war is costing lives.
From a half block away, West Philadelphia police officer Tyler Bullock had spotted a man with a gun.
I hope that's a toy. Come here.
And this time it was.
You think we could determine whether this is real or plastic at night? No. You sitting here shining it?
Especially if there's somebody that wants this corner.
There are plenty of street corners in West Philadelphia, and many of them are virtually corner stores for a lucrative drug market. Police say the fight for control of prime real estate, which can rent for $3,000 a day, has sparked a turf war in Philadelphia, West Philly in particular.
And they had an enforcer out here. I believe he was arrested. He, in the span of like 2 weeks, he might have shot 4 or 5 people on these corners, trying to explain to them that these corners were not to be taken, they were for sale.
Those turf wars are being fought on and over prime street corners, where on a good night a dealer can bring in as much as $30,000 cash. And here on the West Mill Creek Playground, which has become more like a battleground of late, as young urban bandits fight for control of prime territory.
A violent group of individuals, and there's no empathy for the community or us senior citizens or children. It's the bottom line is greed, money, and who's going to control the neighborhoods.
I have reported reports of gunfire in a neighborhood and pulled up on location and they see 200 spent shells in one pile on the highway.
And some of those bullets have found their marks. 3 weeks ago, a 23-year-old named Brock White was gunned down as he drove through the area police say he once controlled.
I don't know who's going to take his place. There's always a new player, somebody else that likes the power.
Since January 1st, there have been 9 drug-related murders in the 19th police district alone. Citywide, of 135 homicides so far this year, 53 of them are drug-related. That's about 40%.
I guess somebody just want to just get out their car or something, just want to start some war. I don't know. I guess they just want to get out and start bang, bang, start shooting, but not around here.
And that's not a war?
No, it's not a turf war, no.
Police say the victims and their killers appear to be from opposing factions, the Junior Black Mafia, Jamaican posses, or just loosely organized corner boys.
You got ID say you live there? Yeah, right. Move.
The baseball caps signify different groups of people. It signifies what type of drug they're selling, what group they're involved with. Different caps for different corners.
At the West Mill Creek Playground, one group controls the benches, another the basketball courts, a third the swing sets. Residents say the street lights were shot out long ago.
I don't know where it's going to end. This summer is going to be very hot.
We are nowhere near what's happening in Washington or San Diego or LA or New York, but we have that potential unless we beef up the police forces on the street.
Now, although the mayor has promised to have more cops on the street by this summer, the first class of recruits won't actually be out there until August. A police spokesman tells us that the city's police commissioner is trying to come up with alternatives that will put more cops on the streets. Meanwhile, those that are already out there will just have to do their best to keep a lid on the situation. Pat Battle, Channel 10 News, update.
Up next, Herb's forecast.
We'll be right back.
Cadillac versus Lincoln. You decide.
Well, I drove a town car, but when you compare its performance to my Fleetwood, there's no contest. The Cadillac has more horsepower, and in USAC tests, it's faster from 0 to 60 and at passing speeds. Now, the Lincoln will eventually get you from point A to point B, but don't expect me to wait around for you.
See why Cadillac DeVilles and Fleetwoods are outselling Lincoln Town Car and Continental combined at your Super Network dealer.
I bet your health insurance calls 80% payment complete coverage. Well, how would you like to have 100% coverage? With Delaware Valley HMO's basic plan, you can see a participating doctor of your choice for just $3 and still get complete coverage. 100% coverage for regular checkups, lab tests, specialty care, surgery, even maternity. 100% coverage. You see, at Delaware Valley HMO, we define complete a little differently.
A funny thing is happening at Super Fresh. People are getting more and spending less. It's a place where people know the score, where you pay much less and you get much more. Aisle after aisle, front to rear, if there's a way to save, you'll find it here. Say it sure is great. You know it's kind of funny how you get much more when you spend less money. Come share the proud new feeling at Super Fresh.
Fragrance from Estee Lauder. Knowing is all. Now at all John Wanamaker stores.
Question for you tonight. Would you do what this man did? Watch. An Australian pilot today took his plane out for a spin and then wound up in the record books. The unusual flight started with an ordinary takeoff by flight instructor Bob Turner in his Cessna. But when he was 13,000 feet above Perth, Australia, he shut off the engine and took a nosedive. Watch. Turner turned and spun his plane around in the air 79 times in a row and then made a safe landing. He also landed his name in the record books for making the most plane spins in a row. And I'm sure his stomach is slightly intact.
Have you ever taken a commercial flight where you felt like that's what the pilot was doing?
Boy, that's something.
He was too dizzy to walk after that. We flew. Ready?
Yeah.
For the weekend.
Let's do it.
It's going to rain. There, said that. It looks like rain. The betting is on rain. It's a 70% probable that it's going to rain. We had a little light sprinkle about 8 o'clock or so, but that's gone. And now the next threat of anything appears to be, I'm looking now toward midday tomorrow before the rain shows up. Down by Penn's Landing tonight, temperatures are fine. We're in the 60s. We're in the 60s through a good part of the evening, 55 degrees now. 69 was our high. We didn't get that till late afternoon. 49 the morning low. We've got a southerly breeze now at 12 miles now. Here's why my thinking. A little bit of rain, a little light stuff over in South Jersey. That has since moved off. We're there. Then it thins out a good bit. You see, all the way back through Ohio. Now there's not much falling. It was only light stuff there. The big patch of rain is still out to the west. And so I think it's going to be a little while coming on. It can build in a hurry, of course. It can almost jump over a large area and develop anew. But I think now we may be out of threat until toward midday. But the odds do say showers, a 70% probability. And once they come, they'll be locking in. This is the frontal system that was down to the south. It spread more rain down there today while it was stationary. Now it's starting to move up as a warm front. I'm showing rain there in 65 degrees tomorrow. That'll be joined by the system out of the west. And then for the whole area, it looks like both of our weekend days will be on the wet side. Tomorrow on the Poconos, about 60 degrees. Elsewhere, 65 in southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, about 70 in Delaware, a little cooler, around 58 at the shore where the ocean water temperature at the Ventnor Pier today was 55 degrees. Our forecast says thickening clouds. Late showers, they're still in the forecast as a 30% chance. I wouldn't bet that on them, though. 52 degrees for the overnight low. It's 55 now. For tomorrow, showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Whatever you're going to do, try to do it in the morning. I think this may hold off till midday. Cooler at 62, 65 degrees. On Sunday, more of the same, just about a carbon copy, except we do move up to about 70 degrees. And then some kind of justice, the wrong kind. The sun comes back along with the 1st of May on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, good days. But the weekend, bet wet. Larry?
Okay, coming up, Big Al's Friday Night Sports. Cheer us up, Al. The Phillies return home against the Reds. Long ball at the vet tonight, and the latest on Pete Rose.
I never knew I even liked this house until after the fire. Then I remembered all the work I'd done on it. And after 9.5 years, you can't exactly call it a starter home anymore. So I was glad we could fix it up and live here. And have enough sense to love it this time.
Nationwide is on your side.
Weeds, no problem. A shot of Roundup kills weeds and grasses, roots and all. In driveway cracks, on patios, along fences. Make weeding easy with Roundup. Nothing kills weeds better.
Enter the Weekend Freedom Sweepstakes. Get details on how to win where you buy Roundup.
When you race Formula One cars at speeds exceeding 200 miles an hour, you're bound to gain a great deal of valuable information about engine technology. You might expect us to keep information like that under lock and key. But we prefer to keep it someplace a little more accessible. The Acura Integra Sports Sedan.
BF Goodrich TA tires perform like great athletic shoes. Grab. Dig. Because BF Goodrich TA tires are low and wide. BF Goodrich TA tires. Think of them as athletic shoes for your car.
Channel 10 Sports, sponsored by BF Goodrich TA Radials, athletic shoes for your car.
You got to lose a few in big-time baseball once in a while. Big Al has sports.
Well, let me give you the latest on Pete Rose, by the way, since they're in town. The Cincinnati Post has a story today that Pete is going to tell the investigators that he was blackmailed by these guys that are accusing him of betting on baseball, and that's exactly what they were going to do. Turn him in as betting on baseball if he didn't come up with the money. Well, we'll see. First inning, Don Carmen, Cal Daniel, going, it is gone. Third inning, Don Carmen, Paul O'Neill, going, it is gone. Fifth inning, Eric Davis to the other left field, going, it is gone, and that's all they got. And there may be some other bad news for the Phillies. Now, here's the latest. Jeff Parrott, watch this. Gets nailed on the hand, taken to the hospital. I just got the word it's called a non-displaced fracture of the right hand, but he may be able to pitch in his next turn, whatever that means. Here's on the scoreboard. The Mets are winning. Chicago continues to win. And it's Pittsburgh beating San Francisco, Montreal knocking off Atlanta, and St. Louis leading Los Angeles. In the American League, what's happening? Hey, the Yankee won again. Boston leading. It was Kansas City and Cleveland. Now, Detroit and the Celtics in game one of their best of five. What happened? Well, you would expect that the Detroit Pistons at home would do a job. They did. They ran it up to 16 points. Quite a Bill Lane beer at the end there. They got it down to 9, did the Celtics. But watch this coming up by Joe Dumars, who had 25 points. It's that kind of a night. The final 101-91. The Detroit Pistons win the game. And Chicago beats Cleveland in Cleveland. Michael Jordan got 31. 95-88 is the final score there. There. And coming up there. Yes, you got it. Now we got some partials for you. A period score in Phoenix and a halftime score in Seattle. Now, the Sixers right here on Channel 10 at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. Game 2. What do you say, Charles?
If they win the next game, we'll go back to Philadelphia and hopefully win the next two. The only time it's a must win when it's the last game. Yeah, we go, hey, they're supposed to win their home game, and we're supposed to win our home game. That's why you play the regular season.
You got it. Flyers tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. Ron Burke is there. And this is it. You know, winner take all. Ron Hextall likes the Flyers. Experience in games like this, 7th game.
He's got to be playing 30, 40 minutes a game. So, there's so much chance for him to score. If we do shut him down, like I said, the other guys only have, say, the other 20 minutes of the game. So think it's the key to shut Mario down and obviously Paul Coffey and guys like that, and that's what we did tonight.
You betcha. You do that and you're going to win. Penn Relays on Channel 10 next weekend. We'll have a highlight show today. The Villanova women's relay team setting a new world record in the 4x1500. Michelle DeMiro, Sonia O'Sullivan, Kathy Franey, Vicky Huber win it in world record time. And by the way, Arkansas wins in the men's distant medley relay. There it is, Penn Relays, and tomorrow will be the big day. And by the way, rain or shine, that is, you show up, because unless there are thunder showers, and Herb didn't say anything about it, they will go at Franklin Field tomorrow. The Penn Relay 95th edition of the Carnival, and we'll be there. And by the way, I'll join you tomorrow, and we'll see what happens with the Sixers and the Flyers. A big weekend in sports for all of us here.
Very big.
Yeah. And by the way, are they paying off for one number yet in the...
Yes, I told you. They're going to give you a free tattoo.
A free tattoo. Yeah, that's all I need.
I knew that.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Al. Finally, country music sensation Randy Travis played to a packed house tonight at Philadelphia Civic Center and showed why he's become country's brightest star. Bringing the sounds of the country to the city tonight, Travis played all of his big hits. He's the winner of several Grammy Awards, many other awards, and Travis's latest album, Old 8x10, has been in the top 10 for months.
Big hit in the Philadelphia area.
Oh, I love it. Did you hear that country fiddle in the back?
You like those
I
fiddles.
love that.
Channel 10 News continues tomorrow night with Stephanie Stahl, Big Al, and Ron Burke with reports on Sixers and Flyers playoff highlights.
And Pat Sajak is next. Have a good night and a great weekend.
Good night.
This summer, U.S. Air and Piedmont have combined to offer low fares on some very special seats. Seats in the warm sunshine of California and Florida. Seats on the beautiful islands of Bermuda and the Bahamas. So when you're planning your summer vacation, all you have to do to reserve one of these seats is call us and reserve one of ours.
What could be more exciting than 2 days of high-performance racing school? What are you doing after school?
The Associated Press has recognized Channel 10 News as the best news operation in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Levitt's Anniversary Sale, the most exciting furniture sale you've ever seen. Going on now at the Levitt's near you.
Now through Sunday, it's Spectrum Carpet's $9.99 carpet sale. Pay just $9.99 a yard for a large assortment of carpets. Plus, make no payment with no interest for 6 months. Only at Spectrum Carpets.
More Americans buy Snapper than any other brand of rear-engine rider. Join the millions of satisfied users who have made Snapper America's #1 choice.
This summer, savor all the continent has to offer without crossing the ocean. In the province of Quebec, just a day's drive away, yet a world apart. Quebec, the all-new world right next door. For information, call 1-800-443-7000.
Bonjour.
It's a birthday blowout, Monday at 4:30 on Newhart.